guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Granada versus Barcelona in La Liga. It is the final match before the second international break into the season, and from the last international break until now, we actually have a very good record, and we hope to continue that. Again, the top of La Liga is very close. Away game, of course, for Barcelona is difficult as well, but again, a win is needed. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, the regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Estadio de los Cármenes, which of course is the home stadium of Granada, where we haven't played there in a very long time. Our losses out there, you could say, was very iconic. We'll talk about that later on. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed on the pitch. It will be Cesar Soto Grando, of course, the referee who coached or refereed Barcelona's first match of the season against Getafe, which of course ended in a lot of controversy. He is back refereeing Barcelona, and on the VAR it is Carlos de Acero Grande. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona currently sit in second place in La Liga on 20 points. After playing 8 matches, we have 6 wins and 2 draws. Of course, the 2 draws are against Mallorca and Getafe. Top table Real Madrid have 1 less negative result, and again, but they do have a loss. That's where it combats the 2 draws. They're sat on only 21 points. After playing 8 matches, they have 7 wins and 1 loss. Again, Barcelona the only unbeaten side in La Liga currently, and hopefully continue to stay that way. Girona, who play I think in the next half an hour or so, are sat in 19th place. After playing 8 matches, they have 6 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Bilbao Athletic Club played last night, so they're in 4th place. Of course, Atletico Madrid still right behind them. Again, just not narrowing down the gap. We do have, of course, El Clasico at the end of the month, and hopefully by that point, Barcelona, I think, hopefully will have a suitable lead against Real Madrid, in the sense they won't have to win El Clasico to be in first place. That's going to be the main objective, essentially, to get to the Clasico, top of La Liga, by 1 or 2 points, where a draw would be a favorable result for Barcelona. But again, the league is very tight, and hey, I even take it if I'd rather Real Madrid be ahead of us, because that way we have to beat them. We'll go out on the front foot, and it'll be a more emphatic victory. But again, keep up with the pace. If we take a look at the top team and who they'll be facing this weekend, again, Girona will be playing in the next 20-25 minutes as of recording this video, and they'll be taking on Cadiz away from home. Real Madrid will be hosting Osasuna later on today as well, and I believe tomorrow Atletico Madrid will be taking on Real Sociedad at the Wanda. That is going to be a big game, probably the biggest game of this weekend. Real Madrid against Osasuna. Look, Osasuna are a good team, but it's at the Bernabeu. I expect nothing but Real Madrid 3 points, but you never know. A draw would be nice, or maybe even a loss. Real Madrid are coming off the back of the midweek against Napoli, where they won in the Champions League, and so we are coming back off the same thing, so I doubt Real Madrid will struggle in that game. So again, they have definitely the easier game on paper because they are at home. We are traveling away, so it's going to be that, again, pressure on Barcelona to go out and get the result that they need and keep up pace with Real Madrid. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Granada and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat in the relegation zone in 19th place in La Liga on 5 points. After playing 8 matches, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 5 losses. Of course, Granada are one of the newly promoted sides this season, and so far they are on course to get sent right back down to the Segunda Division. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Granada. Like I just mentioned, they're one of the newly promoted sides this season. They had a very poor start to the La Liga campaign and are still fighting for their lives to continue in the first division. Now, the last time we played the Granada was not last season, of course, because they were relegated, but the season before that, and we played them twice very early on. I think our last match against them was in January of 2021 or 2022. No, of 2021. We drew 1-1. It was back at the time where half our squad either was injured or had COVID. I mean, it was absolutely peak. You can look at the lineup and see for yourself. You know, we got Eric Garcia and PK as center back partnership, Dani Alves, Jordi Alba in the team, Nico in the team, Busquets in the team, Dembele, Ferran, Jukla. The only players in this lineup that are still at Barcelona are Gavi, who was sent off in this match with the second yellow, and Ter Stegen. Everyone else is gone. It's crazy times. This is how you have to give credit to the rebuild of the board. Besides the point, again, it was a poor Barcelona side during that time where Xavi was trying to coach them to play well. We actually went 1-0 up. It was Luke de Jong goal. It was from a Dani Alves cross. And then Granada got a lucky goal in the end as well because we had a 10-man. Gavi was sent off. So I would say it was a very evenly contested match, even though Barcelona are the superior side. They are away from home. I think Barcelona did dominate for the majority of the game. Once that red card came in, didn't really help. In the end, we walk away with the draw, which on paper wasn't the best result, but in the terms of the match, it was probably a fair result. Now, if you look at Granada's last 5 matches in all competition, in their last match, they drew 3-3 with Almeria. They drew 1-1 with Betis. They lost 1-0 to Las Palmas. They lost 4-2 to Girona, and they lost 5-3 to Real Sociedad. So as you can see, Granada can score some goals. It's just about them winning games. Again, look, 3 goals against Sociedad, 2 against Girona, 3 against Almeria. They can get on the score sheet. It's just seeing out games and getting the 3 points that is their struggle. But let's take a look at the last 3 matches in all competition. Firstly is the 1-0 loss to Las Palmas. Of course, this was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a last-second goal from Las Palmas to secure all 3 points. It was a very evenly matchup. Of course, the 2 newly promoted sides facing each other. They were battling out last season to get promoted, and now they're battling to stay in the first division. You can see their lineup on the screen. 4-4-1-1 is what Granada tend to rock nowadays. Again, very even match, and Las Palmas in the end nicked it, and they got 3 massive points. Next up is their 1-1 draw with Betis at home. Now, this is a very good representation of what we can expect when we go to Granada, again, against the top teams. Granada tend to compete, tend to go for it when they're at home. 1-1 draw against Betis, who of course are a good side. In this match, it was still the 4-4-1-1, but the second striker, form a front 2 and not kind of playing in behind. In this match, like I said, Granada were on top, I believe, for the majority of the game. I think first 10-15 minutes, Betis had their chances, couldn't finish. I believe it was Isco who scored the goal off a rebound, if I'm not mistaken, and then Granada pulled one back very, very quickly. Again, evenly contested. With the stadium being on Granada's side, you can see the match was very, very even, but on paper, Betis are the better side. But in the end, it was a draw and the points were shared. And their last match in all competition was a 3-3 draw with Almeria. Now let's talk about this game, because Almeria scored 3 goals in 3 minutes just before halftime. 45th minute, I think there was like 4 or 5 minutes of added time. Their former player Luis Suarez, not the one you're thinking about, the other one playing for Almeria, scores a hat-trick in 5 minutes just before halftime. So Granada going into that match 3-0 down at halftime, conceding 3 goals in 5 minutes just before halftime. They come out in the second half. They're away from home as well, keep that in mind. Unbelievable comeback. They absolutely battered Almeria. I think they missed a penalty as well. They got another penalty, scored it. They hit them twice on the break, and they walked away with a draw. It was an absolutely unbelievable second half performance from Granada, or you could see it as a Almeria capitulation, but a very, very even match. And go watch the highlights. These goals were quite banging in the atmosphere and the comeback auras, of course, on the match. But again, I think Granada in this match didn't really have the best game, but they did fight off of Almeria kind of taking their foot off the pedal and sleeping a bit. But 3-3 draw, it was a thriller, and Granada worked very, very hard to get that point. So overall, final thoughts on Granada. They're a very, very decent side, again, trying to stay in the division, and they're very well managed by their manager, Paco López. Now, if you don't know Paco López, he used to manage Levante back in the day and other mid to lower team La Liga sides. He has a very good record against Barcelona. I think he's unbeaten in his last few games. A draw, win, draw. It's fair to say that he does have our number in his back pocket, and that's what worries me about this game. Again, they are at home. Fan advantage, which of course is imperishable nowadays in football. It makes me worried because he knows how to beat Barcelona. He knows what to do, and it's very simple. Park the bus, hit them on the counterattack, pray they don't create chances, and you have to be clinical. And that's how Paco López does it a lot. I remember a lot of times when he'd be with Levante, and I think he coached Alaves as well, if I'm not mistaken. He caused us some it's either they beat us or we barely, and I mean barely, scrap 3 points. So it's going to be a tough game for sure. Now, in terms of players to look out for Granada, there's quite a few. You have, of course, Jose Callejon, former Real Madrid player. Jesus Vallejo on loan from Real Madrid. Gundogan, who played for I think Elche last season, he's now signed for Granada on a free transfer, a former Barcelona player. You have Lucas Boy, who of course was linked with Barcelona a lot the past few years. He got relegated with Elche, signed for Granada. You also have their two very important players for their teams. If you look at the lineups, we were talking about them. They had Ferreira in goal, Ande Ferreira, the Portuguese goalkeeper. He is ruled out for this game. He is injured, and one of their important center backs as well is ruled out. So they do have a bit of injury concerns here or there, so that could hopefully benefit Barcelona. But again, when you have a team with experienced players in La Liga and some young players as well, of course Luis Suarez, the player who scored the hat-trick as well, watch out for him. Combined with the manager that knows how to beat Barcelona while playing at home, it makes for a tough matchup. But I can also say that from Barcelona, the chances have to be created and you have to be clinical. If we have 2 chances, I expect 2 goals. If you have 2 chances and miss 2, this match is going to end in a draw or a Barcelona loss. So Barcelona must be clinical in this match. They cannot afford to miss chances. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Balde, Araujo, Martinez, Gavi, Ferran, Peña, Felix, Christensen, Alonso, Romeu, Roberto, Gundogan, Koundé, Astrolaga, Lamine Yamal, Fermin Lopez, Pau Victor, and Marc Guiu. So again, from the previous squad list, few exclusions. The 4 main ones, of course: no De Jong, no Raphinha, no Pedri, and no Lewandowski. The 2 B team players that have been called up newly, of course, are Pau Victor and Marc Guiu. Of course, Fermin Lopez, Lamine Yamal, Astrolaga have been in the first team dynamics for the entirety of the season. Very happy to see Araujo in the squad list again. We heard he had some cramps after the Porto match. He seems to be fine, but again, 4 big misses for Barcelona, and you have the 2 B team players coming in to make up the numbers. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. His press conference this morning, of course, asked a lot of questions in the media about the current state of the squad and national break coming up, 2030 World Cup, the loss of players from injuries, some quick injury updates as well. So a lot to get stuck into. So let's get and see what the Gaff had to say this morning in the presser. He came out saying we have important injuries, but we're very happy with the work done this week. It was always been difficult to beat Paco López's team, and Granada will cost us. We have to control the ball and have possession. I've already said it several times that personally, Fermin Lopez is a footballer that I like. He's a player who does not sink defensively. He has a good shot on him. He wins duels. He is intense. I think he'll have many minutes in the upcoming matches. The squad is small now, but we have enough players to compete and to hope to recover the players from the games after this one. Robert Lewandowski's loss hurts a lot. He is our goal scorer, he's our reference point in attack, and he's also our leader. Ferran and João Felix can play there, but we also brought in Pau Victor from the B team. We have several options that can adapt to his role. Then as on the 2030 World Cup, since the 2030 World Cup format is not a normal format, playing in several countries, the Spotify Camp Nou is a stadium with a lot of capacity. The final in Barcelona, why not? Then he said, continues on by saying that our DNA is to win by playing well. In Porto, the sensations were not good with the ball. Without the ball, we were good. With the ball, we were not good. We are Barcelona, the most admitted club in this sense. We are in contact with the physios and doctors of all international teams because it's important to have a good monitoring of each player. I tell you what, if we suffer some injuries in the international break, our season might be toasted. Then he was asked on if he was happy with Romeu so far at Barcelona. He said, look, I'm very happy with Romeu so far. The other day he wasn't playing well, but the whole team wasn't playing well. Which, to be fair, he's not wrong, but Romeu did have it. I think Romeu was the worst of the bad bunch. The one who is the closest to returning right now from injury is Pedri, but there will be an international break. We're going to try to recover as many possible for the next game. Pedri did confirm on that app Residence where the players talk, saying that he hopes to be in top form for the Clásico. Hopefully that's the case. He then asked Xavi on Christensen playing in the pivot. There's been a lot of rumors saying that Xavi is considering playing Christensen in the pivot to, of course, nullify some of the injuries that we have in midfield. Of course, Gundogan, Romeu, Gavi cannot play week in, week out. They will need to be rested, and Christensen could be an option in the pivot. Xavi has come out saying that Christensen would not be my first choice when it comes to accompanying Romeu in the absence of Frenkie. They're all alternatives, though. We have Marc Casado, Gundogan, but we don't rule out Andreas. He has played there a lot in that position for Denmark. So again, he's leaving that door open, but saying it's not really an imminent change that he is expecting. Then he's asked on Marc Casado, saying that Marc Casado initially came with us, of course, trained with us in the first team, recently, but we have covered this position well at the moment. In the end, Marc Guiu and Pau Victor will come, and we have decided that Casado will play for Barca Athletic this week. We have to be more responsible with the ball. We are young players, and sometimes we lack the calm and we watch with possession. Sometimes we lack that pause and the calmness. Then asked of Frenkie de Jong how integral he is to the team. He said, look, the reality is that Frenkie de Jong is the best midfielder in the world, and when you miss him, of course, there's going to be problems. And finally, Xavi was asked about Alejandro Balde, his big question, and how he's been playing. He said that I see Balde very well. In Porto, he was actually one of the best players. He divided, he acted as a free man when he came with the ball. I am delighted with his performances. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Granada tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. I've been very on point with Xavi's lineups this season, but for this game, I have absolutely no idea, no inkling, no gut, no sense on what he's going to do. I have selected this lineup on the screen right now. I've gone with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Koundé, Araujo, Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Romeu, Gundogan, and Gavi, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and João Felix. So essentially the same lineup against Porto, but with Ferran Torres starting ahead of the injured Lewandowski. I don't know what he's going to change. He could, of course, do a plethora of things. He can change the back line, bring in Roberto or Alonso. If he does, we will lose this game. He could bring in Fermin Lopez in the midfield or in the attack. He could have João Felix as a striker, then Ferran on the left. He could have Fermin Lopez on the left, and either Ferran or João Felix up front to rest them. I have no idea. It's about what he thinks is best for the game. I think in midfield, Gavi and Gundogan will 100% start. I think it's whether or not he drops Gundogan in the pivot and starts Fermin Lopez. Backline as well, I think that he's going to risk Cancelo, but I don't know what he's going to do. Will he bring in Roberto? Will you take, the best center back in the world on current form and put him at right back? It's a situation that you don't want to be in, but again, I think the reason why he may pick this lineup is that we are one game away now from the international break, and we have 2 weeks off in his point of view. But of course, these players will go out on international duty. The majority of them, they may not play the first game, but they'll play the second game, or vice versa. So for me, it comes down to, do you risk it and play a rotated side, or do you just go for it and just pray to God that no players get injured on international break? It's a big lineup selection from Xavi, and to be honest, it's in a position, thank God I'm not in this position, because I don't know what I would pick, but I will, of course, tell you guys my lineup in a few seconds. But that's the lineup that I have selected for Xavi, of course, for the match tomorrow. In the comments down below, though, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes, a few tweaks from Xavi's lineup. This is the line that I would select for this match tomorrow if I was the manager, and I have made some of the changes that I did mention in Xavi's lineup. In the midfield, I have dropped Gundogan to the pivot and brought in Fermin Lopez. I think Fermin Lopez against Sevilla and Porto has done enough and performed well to start the game, and with Romeu playing so poorly against Porto, I don't want to risk it again. And I think also keep in mind with Romeu, he's played poorly against Mallorca when he started, Porto when he started, he came on against Sevilla for the last 10-15 minutes, put in a shift. In the back line, I would risk Cancelo, and I have gone with Araujo at right back, just maybe because I don't want to take Koundé out. He's the best player in the world on current form in his position. You don't take him out of there. You keep him there, let him keep the flow going. I think it would be worse to put Koundé at right back, so that's why I've gone to Araujo there. He's been in and out of the team quite a bit, so if you play him at right back, it won't make a difference. This can now form into a back three of Araujo, Koundé, Christensen. You can have Balde way more advanced on the pitch. Front three as well, set in stone. Of course, we have absolutely no one else, and that's the line that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? Our last 2 games, we have won 1-0 against Sevilla and Porto respectively, and I've continued that streak, and I have gone with Barcelona winning this match by 1-0. I think it'll be a very tight game, and I think it will come down a lot to Xavi's tactic and lineup selection. Will he go on the front foot? Will he keep a balanced squad? Will he go for a bit of a defensive approach? Look, it's a pivotal game for Barcelona. We're going to know the result, of course, of Real Madrid and Girona later on today, but we'll probably go to this match in 3rd place in La Liga. It's going to be a big moment. Again, these players are knackered. They're playing week in, week out. They could be going on international duty as well. It's a game where Barcelona have to, scrap the win. I think that if you keep the clean sheet, we will win the game. Like we said about Porto, like we said about Sevilla. If you keep the clean sheet, hopefully the attack will do their job, create chances, and finish them. I didn't think we'd get the clean sheet against Porto. We ended up doing that, and of course that gives me confidence as a culé, but in games like these. You just never know. Again, Paco López has done so well against Barcelona, another team that we tend to struggle with away from home as well. It's going to be a difficult game. I think we will win. I see it being very, very tight. 1-0 Barcelona, 2-1. I don't see us battering them, 3-0 or 4-0 or whatever the case may be. I think there is a good chance that Granada score against us, but I do see the result of this match very highly being a draw, then a Barcelona win, and then a Granada win. But the difference between a Barcelona and a Granada win is not too different. But overall, my official prediction is a 1-0 win to Barcelona. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that's a match preview for Granada versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, more importantly, on your lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with if you were the late manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Fall share for the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Nothing but the 3 points. Take care and force the Barca.